Hey everyone, my name's Tom, and everyone thought that I was just a nerd until they realized that I'm the attractive mystery guy everyone has had a crush on for years. But first things first, shout out and credit to Soma M. Today's story is inspired by your title idea. Remember to post your new title ideas in the comments below. It needs to be an original story, something we haven't done already. Give a like to the ones you would like to see animated. For the most active members to create very popular titles, we will contact you to join a secret server on Discord to offer you behind-the-scenes access. By the way, we're having a merch drop only available until the 1st of January. This drop is dedicated to you, to spread a positive message in your community and keep warm during the winter. Make sure to get your hoodie for the holidays. For now, let's jump straight into today's thrilling story. I'm a classic introvert. I try to keep to myself. And that's not because I want to. It's because I'm awkward, and when I try to talk to people and make friends, things just don't come out right. Like, in my head, what I want to say sounds so smooth and cool, but when I try to say it, it ends up just making everyone go quiet and slowly leave. So yeah, I'm a bit of a nerd. And I tend to talk too much and ramble about things I love. So much so that people stop paying attention, and inside, they probably wish I'd just stopped talking. So suffice it to say that I don't have many friends. But in a different world, as a different version of myself, I am. And I have a few million followers who I consider my friends. It all started one day when we were in gym class and my teammates were laying it on me. They told me that I was the reason we lost at basketball. We shouldn't have picked you for our team. Well, we didn't actually pick him. He was last pick, so we didn't really have a choice. Next time, we should just play with one member less. I'm sure coach won't mind. Yeah, better to lose with good players than to lose because of an idiot who doesn't even know how to pass the ball. I couldn't just let them blame me when I did pass the ball to them, and they just missed the shot. So even though I was shaking with fear, I defended myself. I did pass the ball. Passed the ball. Me, stupid whiny nerd. You can barely lift the ball, so shut up. We lost because of you, and that's the end of it. Now shut up and clean up this mess. I looked around me, but I didn't understand what they meant. What mess? This one. The boys all emptied their water bottles and soda cans on my head, and then someone from behind me dumped a bunch of flour on top of it all. It was gross and sticky. I felt like I was some sort of chicken nugget about to be fried in some deep fat. I had to walk all the way to the locker room and past everyone who watched the game on the bleachers. They all laughed, they pointed at me, and they took photos and videos. It took me ages to get every bit of that caked mess off my skin. When I got in my mom's car on the way home, I still had bits and pieces of sticky flour clinging to my neck and ears. That night, I poured through my social media, and there they were. Photos and videos of me walking off of the basketball court looking like a coke-drenched chicken leg. And when I got to read the comments, it made me want to just disappear. It was embarrassing. And the things people said about me hurt. They mocked me and called me names. They told me to die. It's kinda insane how much hate gets thrown at random people online. There were people on there who didn't even know me or didn't even go to the same school. And still, they judged me and bullied me for how I looked and how I dressed and for something I didn't do. So, I took to social media too. It was my first time ever on TikTok, but in front of the camera, it was much easier for me to talk. I didn't have to worry about seeing people looking back at me, so I felt free to air out how I really felt. I didn't show my face, of course. I was too shy for that. I used a filter that made me unrecognizable. I told the internet how alone I felt, how kids at my school were vicious, and I talked about despite all that, I still had a positive outlook, that I would try, one day at a time, to be better at talking to people, and to not let me being introverted get in the way of me living a good life. And it turned out, there were lots of people like me out there. At first, there were 20 people in my comments, just a handful of followers who felt exactly the same as me. But little by little, as I kept posting, more and more people came to say that I'm not alone, that they feel the same way I do, and that they're also going through the same things. That was when I learned that the internet could be used for good too. There may be a lot of hate being thrown around out there, but there's also a lot of positivity, a lot of support, a lot of people who are just like you and me, who feel like they're alone. But thanks to social media, I got to connect with them. And it made me feel less like I'm the only one. And thanks to the encouraging messages and videos I put out on TikTok, soon, hundreds of people began messaging and commenting, saying that my account helped them feel better. That motivated me. If I could help even more people, then that would also make me feel better. So every morning, before I went to school, I would sit down in front of my desk and post a short, 5-second video where I said something simple like, "We probably don't know each other, but if you're watching this, you should know you're amazing." Or something like, "Hey, good morning. If something ruins your day today, remember how you can just wake up tomorrow and start again." That video actually went viral. and tons of people commented on it. Some of them were hurtful and called my messages cheesy and lame, but a lot of them were thank yous and messages of appreciation for how I'm trying to brighten people's days. I even recognized some names and faces on there. It seemed my account had reached my school. That morning, during first period, I overheard the girls talking about my account. His voice is like, really hot, right? Is it just me? No, Janine, it's not just you. I could listen to him all night. Ha, I actually do that. I save his videos and I play them on loop to help me sleep. It's so calming. Where do you think he's from? I'd love to just ask him out. He sounds like the perfect boyfriend. Oh, I wish. He probably lives on the other side of the country. I bet if we all ask him to do a face reveal, he'll do it. Wherever he is, I drag my parents there so I can be his girlfriend. Dream on, Patris. I doubt he's single. A guy like that? Hearing them talk about me like that made me realize I wasn't such a big loser after all. I bet none of them would believe it was the nerd they all ignored who was making them feel like that. So, I gave my followers a challenge. If they could make one of my videos reach 2 million views, they'd get a face reveal. I didn't really expect it all to happen. I just thought it would be a fun experiment to see who really wanted to see my face, and it turned out 2 million people did. So, I had no choice. I got a nice haircut, I got myself a pair of contacts, I let one of my brother's girlfriends choose some clothes for me, and I practiced talking in front of the mirror. I didn't want to disappoint anyone. I wanted to at least look nice when they found out who I really was. And when I did my live stream, the comments exploded. Some of them wanted to get my number. Some of them literally asked for my address, and the heart emojis rained down on me. I felt a really nice high. It felt so good to know that online, at least, I wasn't just some nerd people ignored, that I could be attractive to people too. So I kept that double life up. Online, I was some hot, mysterious guy, and in real life, I was the kid you saw being picked on in the cafeteria. It was like being Clark Kent, dressing like I used to do, with glasses and all. And the moment I got home, and in front of my camera, I was some slick guy who knew how to talk to girls. It went on like that for years. Until one day, just before prom, some clever computer nerd at school figured out where the videos were being sent from. It was a bit creepy that she tracked down my IP address with such ease. But that day, when I walked into school, everyone's eyes were on me. They were all quiet, and I got really scared. It felt like they were about to throw tomatoes at me. But then, one girl stood up and approached me. She smiled at me and took off my glasses. Then, she pushed my hair back. Oh my god, it's really him! Suddenly, the schoolyard erupted with shrieks from all the girls. They rushed at me, pens and notebooks being thrusted at my face. Sign my book, Tom! Go to prom with me, Tom! They followed me everywhere. Some of them even skipped class to stare at me from outside the classroom door. Miss Milhouse had to call the principal just so they'd clear off. That afternoon, as I was trying to detangle myself from the 20 girls that had kept asking me to prom, my bully suddenly appeared in front of me. They all looked super intense. I thought they were about to beat me up. Hey Tom. My sister's a big fan of your videos. Do you mind signing an autograph for her? Phew, I totally thought I was gonna get beaten up in front of some fangirls. I signed their autographs, of course, and I forgave Dean and his friends, even though they tormented me all those years. I mean, that's what I've been preaching on my channel after all. Would be awful I kept spouting those words on my channel, but I didn't choose to live by them. Dean and his buddies became good friends with me. They come up to me every now and again, asking for advice about girls. Now, I post videos with my face, and I've gained a lot of friends. And thanks to the support of my online friends, I'm slowly learning how to have more confidence in real-life interactions too. And guess what? I had 10 dates to prom. I couldn't say no to any of them, so I just decided to go with all of them.